Yeah, and he saw the first set of replays on his monitor down here and had radio conversation, and he says, we don't know. We've had no reports from Tony that the car was ever loose. It had a push, which is what they wanted. He liked the balance of the car. He says, I just know it came around real fast. I suspect that either something broke or we cut a tire.
The most likely scenario, obviously, Gary, would be that they just cut a tire. It takes a little rock to go through it, and then you just can't drive it. The rear end of the car, the two rear wheels are hooked up together with each other, so if you lose the air pressure on one side, you're not only going to lose your side bite, but the other one's going to keep driving and really get the car going cattywampus.
Oh, I was watching his hands very carefully during the slow-mo, and they were steady until suddenly the back end was gone, and then he tried to grab it and couldn't. So the cleanup continues here at the Indy Racing League Las Vegas 500K. There is the way that they will line up when we're ready to come back to the green flag once they have all the dirt and dust off of the track. Well, there's John Menard's hope. It's Mark Dismore, the other car in the team, now that Tony Stewart is out, as he peels off and onto the pit road. Mark, of course, has not yet won in the IRL, had a devastating crash several years ago at Indianapolis during practice for the 500. And anybody that has anything to do with go-karting will know the name. He's got a great go-kart shop just outside of Indianapolis.
And he's, of course, pitting about as late as you can because they're given the one finger to go, one lap to go. So he's obviously coming in to top that thing up and see if they can go a long run.
Gary Gerald.
Yeah, that's exact strategy, Danny. They had a little problem for a moment, I thought, at the right front. Everything appears to be okay. They wait to clear a hose. The Scania cars pulls in front of him, and now Dismore just smoothly rolls back out to pit road.
So we should see a green flag very quickly here. A little further back is in fifth position, Michel Jourdain. There he is. The colors of Mexico on that car. The 22 machine, and he, of course, is the nephew of Bernard Jourdain, who has raced these cars in the past, and he begins to pick the throttle up from fifth place as we're ready to go green. Robbie Gordon gets a good lead on the field. Look back at second place. We're at the Indy Racing League Las Vegas 500K. As the fight is at the front of the field, Robbie Gordon is the leader of the race. This is a battle between Richie Hearn and Michel Jourdain, and it has now moved forward to a battle for third place.
And Michel Jourdain got him around the outside, had a great restart, high all the way around.
That's Arie Luyendyk that sits just ahead of Michel Jourdain. Richie Hearn sitting just behind him in the yellow and black car. Arie Luyendyk is second. Robbie Gordon, and there you get an idea of some of the sand that tends to blow across the track as it blows across the front of our cameras. Over on the backstretch now. Robbie Gordon was the leader at the line by 1.3 seconds last time by. Got a good restart, was able to pull away. There goes Gordon, Luyendyk, and now Hearn tries to make a move on Jourdain.
Let's also keep in mind that the sand is a little bit hard on these tires.
Hearn gets around Jourdain.
Wears the tires out a lot quicker. When you get down to number 1-2 turn where the wind has been blowing the sand out in the track, that's just like sandpaper taking the rubber off.
And it looks like this whole group is catching Robbie Gordon. Second, third, and fourth spot are closing in. He got a great restart, Robbie did, but this group has caught him back up.
Yeah,
look at Arie Luyendyk.
Last time across the line, Gordon was 0.8 of a second. This time, 0.3, and there they are. They're right there with him.
Just look at the different lines the different drivers are taking between Robbie and Arie. You can see a total different concept there.
Watching the leader, Jack Arute.
Well, Robbie Gordon is conserving fuel right now and is running down on boost purposefully. According to Derek Walker, what they're trying to do is run this window now and stretch this segment. So expect Robbie Gordon not to be running as fast as he was maybe 20 laps ago.
Even to the point of giving up the lead, Jack?
Yeah, they're not concerned about that, Paul. In fact, you know Derek, he's always saying, be patient, a lot of racing to go. In fact, before the drop of the green, he said, expect Arie to close on you. Expect Arie to try and pass.
Well, not just Arie. Expect Richie Hearn to be there because Hearn just tried to make a move on the low side of Arie Luyendyk. It didn't work for him that time, but Hearn is there and very racing.
But Luyendyk was doing the same thing when Robbie was off on his power, which they have to be in order to make the pit stops come out right sometimes. Luyendyk did the same thing. Now what they can do, just so everybody knows, if Luyendyk wants to go by Robbie Gordon right now, he decides on the back straightaway, hypothetically, turns his boost up and zaps him down the front straightaway, or whichever one it is. or remember they have 2 gears to do this in.
Bobby Richie Hearn just passed Leyendijk.
He just blew past him.
For second spot.
Moves into second and begins now to charge on the leader of the race, Robbie Gordon.
And remember, there's only one lap that's really important to lead, and that's the last lap. That's the only one that pays.
And still 106 laps to go. 94 laps complete, 200. I think my math worked there. Look at this, Hearn. Driving for John Della Penna, right up, battling with Robbie Gordon.
Now, Hearn could easily be running in his race gear, whereas Robbie could be running in what we kind of call the overdrive gear to save fuel. Or, like right now, it looks like they're both about the same.
What would be the difference in those two, Bobby?
About 10 hundredths.
You're doing good.
Derek Walker talking with Robbie Gordon. Keep the radios open.
Derek may not want to might not care about giving up that lead, but I'm sure Robbie still likes to stay out in front.
But of course, Danny, as we know, it's Derek's job to sit there and run this thing. He's the captain. Tells Robbie what to do. That doesn't always mean he does it, though, right?
No. Derek gave me orders like that for many years, and he won me an Indianapolis 500 and a championship.
Not too bad.
You can't complain.
What did he say when you were spinning? Save it, save it, save it?
He wasn't talking then. He didn't know it was me when I was spinning.
And were you sheepish when you reported the reason for the yellow?
I called back, and he said that I sounded kind of normal, except my voice was a couple octaves higher.
Well, let's find out the condition of Tony Stewart. Gary Gerald?
Dr. Henry Bach, what can you tell us about Tony Stewart?
Yes, Tony Stewart's in good condition. He's awake and alert and stable. Came in complaining of some left shoulder pain and some left back pain. He's going down to the University Medical Center for some x-rays.
Thank you, Henry.
Richie Hearn working on Robbie Gordon.
Boy,
the battle
that's
for the
close.
lead almost touched him a second ago.
That's too close for comfort. At this kind of speed, that was less than an inch apart, it looked to me like, between the tires touching. That's what we've seen too many times up today, Paul.
If this can help predict something, Richie Hearn on lap 53 ran the fastest lap of the race at 219.2 miles an hour. So that's the fastest car in the field in second place right now behind Robbie Gordon.
Robbie's running just low enough in the corner to make it really hard on Richie.
Now will Gordon come back? They were both moving around Eliseo Salazar, and once Richie was able to grab it, he took off.
He's running in a lot cleaner air. Robbie is faded back a little bit because running in the dirty air is just really difficult.
Well, remember, too, Jack's precaution. Leyendijk now closes on Gordon. Battle for second. And Leyendijk's got him. Now, the question becomes, we're not hearing any radio traffic.
10-4.
Difficult to understand what Robbie Gordon's saying.
That was Derek talking, but I couldn't hear what he told him to do.
I think Robbie made
the balance. I got a little bit of a loose entry going into 4.
loose entry going into 4.
Loose entry, just so everybody knows, that means your rear end comes out just a little bit, or is trying to.
Larry Leyendijk relinquishes the lead to Richie Hearn. Robbie Gordon's been working with him. Now we take a look at the leader of the race, Hearn, and of course that is Dismore, who has fallen back to 9th place as Richie Hearn begins to overhaul the field, and there are 8 cars on the lead lap. So Richie Hearn, now the leader here at Las Vegas, as the run continues with the IRL. We'll be back after this message. We're under caution, and that is Ari Leyendijk. Running in second place, caught the wall by himself, only car in the accident. Obviously, as he signals the crowd, he is, in fact, okay. But Ari Leyendijk from second out of the run, And again, the yellow flies here. Richie Hearn, the leader. That brings Robbie Gordon up to second place. Michel Jourdain to third. Scott Sharp to fourth. And Michele Alboreto, who, remember, won his first Formula One race here in Las Vegas when they raced over on the strip here. Will he see his first IRL win here today? Well, he's certainly in position to do so. Damaged car. Pretty heavily damaged. I guess they'll remember that these cars all become at very best show cars after this, because the IRL does have their new chassis ready for the next race at Walt Disney World when we come back in January.
Leaking that fluid all over the track there. They're going to have to dry all that up.
So in our cautions of the day, as we watch Richie Hearn with Roberto Guerrero right behind him, heading down into the pits, and Jack Arud waits for him.
And Richie Hearns, his car owner, John Della Penna, said to him, Della Penna said, hey, you're the fastest thing on the racetrack, but right now, don't be fast. Hit the marks. Adhere to the 80-mile-an-hour speed limit on pit road. Robbie Gordon on the top of the screen, also in here on the pits. And Richie Hearn going to work. Robbie Gordon hits his marks, and his crew will go to work. Now, for Hearn, they're going to clean out the radiators, and he's off and away. In the meantime, work continues on Robbie Gordon's car. They're filling it up with fuel. This will give Hearn the advantage, at least on the stop. They drop the jacks, and Robbie is very slow getting it back into gear, but he's back out as well.
As we just passed over the halfway a few laps ago, now with 91 laps to go, we're on our fifth yellow of the day. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
We come back to Las Vegas, and on the wrong side of the pit wall we find John Paul Jr. He has retired, and I understand it was a wheel bearing problem on the right front. Is that correct, John?
Yeah, the wheel bearing faded. Going through 3 and 4, all of a sudden it got really way up in the gray, and I was already running high up there. I thought I got up in the marbles, but it was just the wheel bearing. They're trying to replace it now. Maybe we'll get back out there and try and get some points.
You're running a 93 chassis with the old Buick stock block. You're leading this race. What did it feel like to be back leading an IndyCar event?
Well, I thought I'd forgotten how to win races, but we won one a couple weeks ago in Mosport, and, you know, we're in the groove. The car was just phenomenal. Running high line, full tank, low tank, it was just absolutely on rails. And it didn't seem to make a difference. You know, it's just unfortunate. We would have liked to win one for Buick and for my family and for me and the team, but, you know, we're just trying to cruise and collect.
Okay, thank you, John. Paul?
Well, look at the flags here. Give you some idea of the winds in the desert here on the northeast edge of Las Vegas that are blowing over this track. We'll be coming back for the green right after this. Well, we're about a half a lap from the green flag. Here is the running order at the conclusion of 114 laps. Hearn, Gordon, Michele Alboreto up to third. Michel Jourdain with a great run going. And Scott Sharp in fifth. We'll look all the way down through the field. Look at that long list of guys out. And some pretty significant names there. Ari Lyondike, Tony Stewart, green flag comes out. We're running again. With the IRL, the Las Vegas 500K, there's the leader. And he does get away from Robbie Gordon on the restart. Robbie Gordon's having to battle with Guerrero. Guerrero is in 9th place, flat down.
Guerrero taking up really high right there.
Yeah, I think he got up there, Bobby. He looked like he thought, maybe I don't want to go stay right up here. We might get in an incident. So he backed off, it looked like a little bit.
That Ferrari red car with the black wing. Just back is Alboreto. John Ford now with Alboreto, 3rd place. That's Gordon just ahead. Boy, great run for Michele. 18th to 3rd.
Good camera shot. You can look at his helmet, Paul, just get buried over on the right-hand side as he goes into turns. loose and then go right in there, just pushing on it really hard right there.